You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, let's talk about Caitlin Clark. We got a couple of things. We got Caitlin Clark responding, answering to the media, and the narratives that's been going on out there. We all know those narratives, right? The ESPN narratives, the Monica McNutts, the Chini Ogumake out there, Renee Montgomery, USA Today, of course, and the nasty-ass hit piece that was written on Caitlin Clark that was so repugnant that it went viral for all the wrong reasons. And to the point that the nasty author of the article, Nancy Armour, who has been a woke creep forever, she somehow linked Caitlin Clark and Emmett Till together. It was one of the most baffling media pieces I've ever seen in my life, ever watched. And then we've got the other part. We've got the players just not having any respect for Caitlin Clark at all. There, of course, tonight's the All-Star game. The All-Star festivities are tonight. And they were all asked about who is going to break the 53-point WNBA scoring record. That record's currently held by Marina Mabrey, Asia Wilson, Liz Cabbage. Now, Cabbage is actually a porn actress now. OnlyFans or something like that. But yeah, she does full-on pornography. And is making a killing doing it, by the way. But they asked them at the All-Star, which current player, who could step in and break this record? Who could do it? Keep in mind, we're what? 2 games removed? 3 games removed from a 45-point outing from Caitlin Clark. 3 games removed. Just happened like a week ago. And they got asked about this. The answers here are wild.
Marina tied the WNBA scoring record with 53 points in a game. Which current player do you think is going to break that record?
I'm going to have to go with Nafisa or Asia.
We have so many great players in this league. It really feels like anyone, any night could break that. I mean, Marina could break her own record. Like, there's so many potentials, I don't even know if I could name one.
I could see Asia breaking that. Asia. I mean, she's tied also with 53. She's incredible. I think she'll break it, definitely, eventually.
I'd probably say Asia Wilson.
Shoot, I'm going to go Asia again. She's going to re-break it because she's just that good, that efficient. She's already done it once, so she knows what it feels like. So, yeah, I'm going to go Asia.
I could see, Paige breaking it. Paige or, Liv. I feel like I could see her doing, just having, one of those crazy days where she's, no one can,
Yeah. Asia, Stewie, Paige, Marina could get up there again. And then, I have to bet on myself. I have to throw myself in there. I know I can get hot.
Sydney Taylor, Chicago Sky.
I want to say I'm going to break it, but I don't know. Could be Asia. It's going to be me. You're right. Go with the confidence. It's me. I like it. I'm breaking it. Okay, good.
Not one player, not one, named Caitlin Clark. Now you know. Now you can literally visibly see, without just looking at the data and the results, you can visibly see the hate. 11th best guard in the league, as voted by the players. This is wild. They all cannot stand her. It's unbelievable. They all cannot stand her. They've got no respect for her. You can't make this shit up. Can't wait for the 11th best guard in the league to break this. By the way, that 45 points was in 29 minutes. Damn, they're all in on it, obviously. Caitlin had 45 in 29 minutes like a week ago. They've all got amnesia. It's unbelievable. Not one of them would say Clark. She had 45 last Friday on a minute restrictions. These players are so intentional against Clark, trying to make it like she doesn't exist. Clark will score 60 in a game, guaranteed. Bookmarking this for when the 11th best guard does it. This is crazy. This is crazy. If Caitlin decided to do it one night, if she was only going to shoot and have no assists, she would break it. If she played like Kelsey Mitchell, shit. She might score 50 like 6 times a year. But she does not have that one-dimensional. I don't think she can do the one-dimensional thing, which is just score, score, score. But it's crazy. The hate is absolutely ludicrous. Not a single one mentioned Clark, and she just had a 45-point game. You will never convince me every one of them intentionally answered it knowingly, knowing in their mind, I'm leaving Caitlin Clark out of this. I'm not gonna mention her. So this was the hit piece. And the title, there's wording that has been changed and altered in this hit piece. I'm not reading it. This, you can see this. USA Today invokes Emmett Till in column about Caitlin Clark flopping. She called Caitlin Clark a danger to black people because Caitlin Clark was getting fouled. You can't make this shit up, folks. It's crazy. Well, Caitlin Clark answered some of this. This was with ESPN, Malika Andrews.
Clark fires. 45 and 10, the most she's ever scored in a game.
At its best, what the league has to offer is yourself and Paige Beckers and Asia Wilson. The list goes on and on.
Yeah.
And yet so much of the discourse feels completely and totally unrelated to that. Do you feel that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of it is like, it's not always based in reality. I feel like media and journalism have a responsibility to tell the stories. And a lot of times, like, you guys are the ones controlling the narratives about what people read and what people talk about. And a lot of that is sometimes so far out of touch with what is reality. And that can be confusing to somebody that's 24 and trying to navigate life and trying to help her team win a championship.
Case in point, an incident like Alyssa Thomas, the foul. A foul happens on the court.
Yeah.
You move on. She moves on.
Yeah.
And that should be the end of it.
100%.
So top down, what needs to be done so that that is?
It seems like there's always a moment like that in every season that I've played so far. And I think for myself, like, I just try to navigate it the best I can. It gets exhausting. It gets frustrating because I think especially like that's a perfect example of like, yeah, it was a hard foul and it should have been dealt with in the moment and they should have decided what it was then and reviewed it. Great. We move on. You see it happen in the NBA all the time. It's not anything more than that. It's basketball. When I walk out of the locker room, I shouldn't be not fearful of what the conversation is going to be, but, you know, you just like, it's emotionally exhausting. It's draining. It makes your shoulders tense because, you know, people don't want to talk about the basketball. They just want to stir it up and make it something else.
How do you square the way that you are covered with who you know yourself to be?
Like, I think there's just like a false characterization of who I am sometimes. Like, and I get it. Like, as a reporter or as a blogger, like, you can write an opinion piece and that's your job and whatever. But at the same time, like, you don't know me. Like, we've never had a conversation. I get people have a job to do, but at the same time, like, don't make accusations about my character and who I am when you don't know me. I understand this is your job and this is your profession and this is what you get to do, and basketball is my profession and what I get to do. And the reason I play it is when I step in between the lines, I love it. And that's what's so fun about it for me is, like, I get to compete. This was always my dream, and nobody should ever try to take that away from me, like the love and the joy that I have for the game, and they haven't and they won't, because it's my goal to win championships, and I know that I can help this team do that, and that's always what I remind myself in the moments that, you know, things go downhill. It just makes you work harder.
Okay, well, she wasn't done there. She wasn't done there. She said more with Sirius XM.
I think I have a great performance coach. Obviously helps with the basketball, and then I have like really great people around me that allow me to vent. And I think that sometimes like people forget like I have feelings. Like I'm a real individual. Like I feel things and I have emotions and I get emotional and I get frustrated and I get sad and I get upset. I get happy. I get joyful, and like I feel and experience all that stuff. But at the same time, like I have really thick skin. And I think also I always try to remind myself is like, social media is not always reality, and that is really lost on people. And I think we get so down a rabbit hole all the time that you read all these things and you're like, oh, that has to be true, or that has to be what people really think of me, or that has to be what, the young girl thinks of me that's showing up. Like, that's not true. Like, the young girls and the young boys, they absolutely love the way you play. They love the way you carry yourself. And sure, there's going to be people that don't always agree with your playing style or how you carry yourself, and that's okay. That might mean you're doing something right too. Not everybody needs to love you, but just continue to carry yourself in the correct manner. But, there's certainly days that are hard. I would never lie about that. Not everything is amazing and sunny all the time, but I always try to remind myself, like, I'm so lucky and fortunate I get to play a game for a living. So I don't have too much to complain about, and I certainly haven't lost the love and joy that I have for basketball. So, and I always try to remind myself, like, I'm here to win a championship, and I haven't done that yet, so let's do that.
I mean, the one thing you can always say about Caitlin Clark, she carries herself with a ton of class. A ton of class. And I will say this, I don't know if it's her age or if she might be in a little bit of denial. I don't know if she cannot honestly tell that for these players that she's having to play against, from the outside looking in, you can tell how much they don't like her. And I hope maybe for her sake, she's actually in denial about it in some kind of way, because I maybe that helps her. Like the Alyssa Thomas thing, that's personal. That was personal. She can say it was a basketball play. Okay, but from the outside looking in, it certainly does not look that way. It does not look that way. And so many other incidents that has happened have looked blatantly personal. That wasn't a basketball play. No matter how you try to spin it, it was not. But Caitlin always takes the high road. She always conducts herself with class. There's got to be part of her that's thinking, I got to watch what I say or I may keep getting my ass kicked. I cannot imagine that has not crossed her mind, that if I'm going to play in this league, I've got to figure out how to play nice to a certain extent. And I don't know what she's thinking. She said, hey, I don't want people talking for me. You don't know. That's a fact. That's a fact. We don't know what's going through her head. But I also know for somebody like me, I know what I'm watching, and I know I've watched sports for 40-something years, and I can tell what's going on. I can tell when something is about sports and something is personal. You can tell it. We're not dumb. We can tell when somebody does not like somebody else in front of our face. If you got any, if you know discretion and deduction, yeah, you can figure it out relatively easily, to be honest. It's something else. All you got to do is go over and look at the video I showed you a minute ago where they talked to all the other players in the league and not one mentioned her. That's personal. That is personal. That's intentional and it's personal. It is what it is. It's sad is what it is, because she's fun to watch. She's fantastic to watch. But I think a lot of us wonder, how long are we going to get to watch her? Because I cannot imagine being in the position that she is in, dealing with everything. And unfortunately, I don't think she understands there is a social and, to a point, a political part of this. All right. She doesn't really get all that political, this and that and the other. I get that. But she's in she's also in an interesting situation because the players in the league hate her fan base. And I think that makes it personal from the players to her. They can't stand us. Any of us. Make no mistake, regardless of your politics, if you love Caitlin Clark, they don't like you. Understand that. And that's got to be hard for Caitlin Clark to deal with. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.